hello, friends and family of the class of 2015. When I first came to Kingsbury, I was 6 years old. I had trouble interacting with people appropriately, controlling my behavior, and I had a hard time focusing. I didn't know what to say or how to get someone's attention in a good way. I really struggled to find things to talk about. As for my behavior, I would often get very silly in class and try to distract the class with my jokes. This added to my difficulty focusing. I felt like there was a whole lot of silly stuff in my head and I couldn't get out. Academics was the last thing on my mind. While I was distracted in many of my classes, it was in Miss Heidi Marone's class, in middle school, English and history. It was in those classes where I found myself beginning to enjoy the classroom with less distractions. In her class, we read Delaire's Book of Greek Myths and the Epic of Gilgamesh, which is Mesopotamian mythology. It got me interested in mythology. I was so intrigued by the topic that I began to remove the silly thoughts trapped in my head. I was able to focus even if it was just for an hour. In middle school, the counselor, Mrs. Kessler, then developed a behavior plan to help me guide my behavior. She was kind and understanding and hopeful about it, which made me feel more comfortable about allowing my teachers to guide my behavior. After less than a year, I improved my behavior goals. At the end of my freshman year, my behaviors were much more appropriate, and by the end of my sophomore years, all my behavior concerns were gone. Added to my academic success, I have also had many emotional successes while at Kingsbury. I used to tease many of my peers, just to get a reaction out of them. I am happy to say that today we are friends and can even joke about the past. However, my emotional success was a long journey. It began with a psychologist I met outside of Kingsbury and a psychologist I had in Kingsbury. They encouraged me to interact with others, and each day that I came to Kingsbury, it was an opportunity to practice those skills with my peers. I had many peers here that helped me with this process by being patient as I learned about topics that we all had in common. It was in my Kingsbury group therapy that I found that I had peers I could relate to. And my school psychologists and therapists helped to foster those environments. I owe them all a big debt of gratitude. Now we are all turning the pages of all our stories. I'm going off to Mercyhurst University, and I wish all of you well in whichever college you attend. Mount Ida, Montgomery, Frostburg, George Mason, etc. I am sure that we will still encounter educational challenges in college, but I am also confident that we will overcome those challenges. We will go on to make many new friends, and we will never forget the experiences here at Kingsbury that made us who we are. We are all students with learning differences, but we now stand as graduates with the knowledge of how to overcome those differences. Congratulations and best of luck, class of 2015. Mr. James Brooks, our board chair, who will introduce our graduation speaker for this evening.